Hey guys, I think I have to give you an update about what's going on in Greece and Santorini. The number of earthquakes that we see per day continue to decline. You can also see it on the updated graph behind me, but we still see earthquakes in the higher magnitude. So still earthquakes are happening in that area where we have seen the cluster swarm. So this is not over yet. It's not that we haven't seen a 5 in a few days, but we had 2 quakes just right now of 4.3 and 4.1 in the last 24 hours. And we also had about 20 other earthquakes, a little bit weaker than that. And the 2 magnitude 4 earthquakes were also in that area of that earthquake swarm near Anhydros, where we have seen the big cluster. So on the one hand, we cannot say that that swarm is over. We also cannot say it'll flare up again. We just don't know. When it comes to this, it is a waiting game. But as in Campi Flegrei, it's kind of strange that in both areas, the scenario is a little bit the same right now. It gives the residents a break, at least for the ones that are still on Santorini, and there's also some coming back. But that situation could also be deceptive, because what if that is just a quiet before the storm? What if greater tensions could build up underground again? That could happen. We could see another magma intrusion. There was a magma intrusion, maybe even more magma intrusions coming from a magma chamber underneath Santorini and then moving northeast. That's why we saw that cluster swarm, triggering some local fault lines in the area as well. But the thing is, there's also a lot of tectonic plates. So it is not ruled out that we could still see a big earthquake caused by this. Tensions could have built up. We could see another 7.7 that was followed by a 6.9 in 1959. We could see Kolumbo erupt. We could see the formation of a new crater, a new submarine volcano. It's been shaken so much over the last weeks there. Things could have changed. Other tensions could have built up. Cracks could have formed. Rocks and layers could have become weaker, more brittle. So we could see something. Sometimes just one earthquake, that magnitude 4.3, could trigger something. Let's have a look at the current situation first. So you see on the 26th, that 2.6 was a little bit further west of Santorini. But you see on the 25th, if I scroll down, still quite a large number of earthquakes. It's still the 25th. So I feel that we have seen a few more earthquakes on the 25th than on the 24th. And yeah, that 4.5 that's here in the list, that was somewhere else. But we see the pink points, that's what's just recently. And there's one here right at the caldera, 15 kilometers deep, a 1.2. But we've also seen one here at the Quakes Island. This is where the magma chamber is. This is where we see land rise. We've had another earthquake, so it always refreshes here. I have to go back. So that was just a few hours ago at 6 kilometers depth, magnitude 2.2. So is this thing here recharging? We've seen a few more earthquakes around Santorini, around the crater, in my opinion, the last 3 days. So is this recharging to shoot more into this area again? That's the question, right? We don't know. It could be the calm before the storm. It could gradually die down. But while this is happening right now and while tourist season is approaching, there is still the need to look at something else here on this island. And that is really dire. You see all the white areas here. And these are steep cliffs. All the white stuff. This is basically buildings built into the cliffs. And that is in many ways very unsafe. There's more and more scientists and experts that are saying almost 100% are built without permits and without proper foundations and without proper evaluation. And these cliffs are made of volcanic layers. It's not super stable. And a lot of structural damage underneath these structures, these homes, these hotels, these bed and breakfasts might have occurred through this constant long-term rumbling. And also here, there's lots of problems. The seismologist Akis Tsilentis, I've reported about him a few times. He has resigned like a week and a half ago from the earthquake committee because he says there's political intervention. So are they also trying to smooth the risk a little bit so that business and tourism is not hurt? I don't know, guys. There's 3.5 million people coming to the island every year. Akis Tsilentis is a seismology professor and former director of the Athens Geodynamic Institute, and he has submitted his resignation to the Secretary General of Civil Protection, citing government intervention in the work of a scientific community that was tasked with monitoring the spike in seismic activity in the last few weeks. So Akis Tsilentis said that unappointed officials participate in these meetings of that National Committee for Seismic Risk Assessment, and he says they are degrading the role of the scientists. And he says, quote, "I cannot accept that the political leadership arbitrarily imposes the participation of additional members who are not appointed in the meetings of the committee. We are a committee elected on scientific criteria that represents our bodies through official appointments. Such political interventions degrade our role." So did the politicians just wanted to have some boots on the ground so that they could get the latest information on that? It doesn't have to be sinister, but he probably didn't like it. So we don't know what the reasons are, to be honest. But if we look at what Akis Tsilentis has said since then, he raises big concerns. So Akis Tsilentis says, and he posted this out in the open, he says the rate of illegal construction in Santorini is almost 100%. And that is shocking. He said this is what the Secretary General of Spatial Planning and Urban Environment of the Ministry of Environment and Energy says. It's not even only him that says this. And he says, because some people accused him, it's like, oh, you're an engineer and do you know what you're saying? He says, regarding whether I'm an engineer, I have training in technical seismology and terrestrial seismic response. Although and he writes that in capital letters, he's very upset about the situation. Although you don't have to be a mechanic to see these miserable constructions on the front of the caldera. And he says, the fact is, for 1,500 euros per night, we risk the lives of our guests. Whoa. And he's also posted some pictures of some construction that really looks, whoa, dangerous. He says, of course, it's not all like that, but he says, I personally didn't see any city building control at all. So guys, I have a playlist for everything that's going on in Santorini because we have a similar situation like that in Italy at Campi Flegrei. Scientists are speaking out about the dangers, and I think that construction issue is an issue that is now probably also independent from the current seismic swarm, because we just need a huge rainfall or something. If these cliffs are already unstable, everything could slide down. And I'm surprised 1,500 euros per night, that's probably for a holiday home with a pool or something. And they told them to drain the pools because with the earthquake, the water might start to shake strongly and rip down the pools. So the people are coming because they like the views on the cliff. They think that is cool, and it is stunningly beautiful. But it's obviously, as it seems, I don't know, I'm just reporting you what I hear, not as safe as it should be. So I think Santorini has some work to do for the future, independent from what's going on there with this volcanic crisis. So if you want to stay on the pulse of this, guys, please subscribe, give this video a like, share it with your friends, click the notification bell. And if you want to support the channel, the links for that are in the description of this video. It's greatly appreciated. And thanks for buying me the coffees on my Buy Me a Coffee site. Link is in the description, as I said. Become a member of this channel for lots of behind the scenes stuff and personal stuff that I share with my members. And welcome to the new members. And yeah, I hope to see you very, very soon. Be a little bit on the lookout where you book your next vacation, guys. Watch my channel, then you know. I see you very, very soon, guys. Bye-bye.